Hello and welcome to the UFC 2024 Champion Predictor. Don't forget to hit subscribe button and wait until the end of the video to find out who I want to see fight in 2024. I'm going to make my predictions for who will be champion come the 1st of January 2024. So let's start with the flyweight division. So currently it's Figueiredo. We've got to be honest, as Brits, we've got to be excited for Mohamed Mokaev. We've got to be excited towards him because I believe he will become the youngest ever UFC champion. I think he's got just over a year left to do that. We've got to also keep an eye out on the likes of Alex Perez, Pantoja. I mean, these are obvious contenders. Kai Kara France, people who are on they're about the top 5 and have been for a while. You know, I mean, you've got Manel Cape as well, pushing up there. But I genuinely think this time next year it will be Brandon Moreno. Depending on how this division goes, we could see Mohamed Mokaev in the top 5 by the end of the year. A couple of wins, and he is definitely in the top 5. So if he can get 3 wins, he's probably in for an interim, if not a title shot. For me, I'm going to go with Brandon Moreno to be champion of the flyweight division, bantamweight. Now, this is a very interesting division because you've got the likes of Aljamain Sterling after the controversy against Petr Yan, and then to go out against Yan again. Obviously, the controversy between Yan and Sean O'Malley, I think they need a second fight. Has Yan not fought Sterling twice? Yes, DQ and then the split decision. Yeah, Yan versus O'Malley, the split decision. I believe that was a close fight. I can see both sides on that, but I think that Yan did win that as well. I think he got the likes of Dominic Cruz, Ricky Simon. They're all on the decline, in my opinion. I don't think they're going to be there. Corey Sandhagen, I think he will still be in the top 5. Merab, I think he will be in the top 5. Jack Shaw, I think is going to be thereabouts as well. But it's difficult to look past Aljamain Sterling or Petr Yan. Well, the top 5, in my opinion, is going to be Aljamain Sterling, Petr Yan, Sean O'Malley, Merab, Corey Sandhagen, and maybe Pedro Munoz, Song Yadong. But I think this time next year, the champion will be Sean O'Malley. Now to the featherweight division. Now this division, man, good, great, fucking unreal. I can't see anyone beat Alex Volkanovski. I'm going to be fucking straight with it. Alex Volkanovski is the guy. I would love to see Alex Volkanovski against Arnold Allen being a British fighter. I'd also love to see Arnold Allen versus Max Holloway in London. I think that as a co-main event would be fucking unreal. I mean, you've got Ilia Tupara, Giga, Calvin Kattar, Josh Emmett. You've got a killer's row in this division. I mean, Yair Rodriguez even as well. Ortega was very close up getting that guillotine choke on Volkanovski. So yeah, I can't see anyone beating Volk myself. I think he is the guy. Same in lightweight division. I think we're going to find it difficult to take that belt off Islam Makhachev. I think it's going to be very difficult to take that belt away from him in that division as well, even though there's a lot of great fighters in that division. I don't think we're going to see anyone taking that belt away from Islam. Now we're on to the welterweight. Now this is a very interesting division where there's a lot of movements going on. There's a lot of back and forth, a lot of injuries. I mean, you've got Leon Edwards, who's the current champion, supposed to be fighting Kamaru Usman. Usman was seen, is it in Bellator or PFL with a cast on? Then you've obviously got Colby Covington and potentially fighting Hamza as a co-main event for London. If that doesn't happen, who does Leon Edwards fight? Does Leon Edwards fight Hamza? Because this was obviously supposed to be a fight that was supposed to be made last year or the year before. Does Leon Edwards give Belal Muhammad a rematch? Obviously, the eye poking stunt. Does Jorge Masvidal get that title shot? I mean, we've got that narrative there ready for Jorge Masvidal against Leon Edwards last time in London, where obviously Jorge Masvidal knocked Darren Till out and then went backstage and gave Leon Edwards 3 pieces and a soda. So there's so many different ways. Like, I don't think Masvidal deserves a title shot, but money-wise, it makes fucking sense for the UFC, doesn't it, eh? I think I would love to see Leon Edwards as his Kamaru Usman. I think Leon Edwards has that chance to to solidify himself as a champion. Colby versus Chimaev makes a lot of sense. Colby versus Masvidal makes a lot of sense. Belal Muhammad versus Chimaev makes sense. I mean, they're all thereabouts. But I do think the champion going into 2024 will be Khamzat Chimaev, as long as he can make fucking weight. Like, he can't miss weight. Oh, sorry, he didn't miss weight. He didn't make weight, didn't attempt to make weight. You can't do that in this sport. You can't. And then we're on to the middleweight division. Now, the middleweight division, obviously Alex Pereira stopping Izzy, knocking Izzy out. Then Izzy wanting the rematch. You got Robert Whittaker, who's on the Jared Cannonier, Marvin Vittori, Derek Brunson, Paulo Costa. Obviously, there's a lot of discussion about Paulo Costa's contract. They were supposed to be fighting against Whittaker in Perth. That's not happening anymore. What is going on in this division? You've obviously got the likes of Duplessis, who beat Darren Till in his last fight, Gaslam, Chris Curtis. You've still got these fighters in here, Jack Hermansson, Sean Strickland. Do you know what I mean? They're all up in there. But I think by 2024, Israel Adesanya will take his belt back. I really do. And I don't think anyone can take that. I don't know. I just don't think that will be stopped. I think Izzy will be a man on a mission. And I think Israel will win that belt back and be champion come 2024. Obviously, light heavyweight is currently vacant. So obviously with Jiri's injury, with his shoulder injury, we've got Chisera against Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill versus Chisera. I think Glover beats him. I think he'll go take the ground. But I do think this time next year, we'll be looking back and seeing, I think Ankalaev as champion, to be honest with you. I think Ankalaev will be champion. I'd love to see Paul Craig push up the ranks, possibly 2-3 fights away from a title shot. The division that has been stalled. Obviously, Francis Ngannou has been injured. There's been talks of him returning against John Jones. There's been talks of him returning against Stipe. There's been talks of John Jones against Stipe. There's been talks in this division a lot, but there's not much happening now, is there? Obviously, there's a potential of Francis versus John Jones come summer, I think they mentioned, or early spring. You've got people in this division, the likes of Tom Aspinall, Curtis Blades, Sergey Pavlovich, Stipe, Cyril Gane, Derek Lewis, Tai Tuivasa. It takes one shot with these guys, doesn't it? It really fucking does. But I really believe that we will be seeing a champion in Tom Aspinall this year. The way I think it's going to work out, Francis fights against John Jones. John Jones beats Francis. Stipe fights John Jones. Cyril Gane fights Sergey Pavlovich. Tom fights Curtis. Tom beats Curtis. Cyril beats Pavlovich. And then Tom fights Cyril Gane and then goes on to fight the winner of John Jones versus Stipe, which I believe will be, I would love, and as being a British fan and fucking MMA fan, I would love to see John Jones fight Tom Aspinall, with the fact of Tom Aspinall moving the way he does, and John Jones coming up from light heavy. I think that's an interesting match. Obviously, we know what happened last time around with the Curtis Blades. Like, Curtis started quick against Tom. Ngannou versus Gane, I think, is a great fight to make. I mean, any fights in the top 10 is a good fight to make. I think there's talks of Tom coming back for the 286, I think it is, in London. I think the right fight to make for Tom there would be the Derek Lewis or a Tai. I don't think the first fight back should be Curtis Blades, personally. Yeah, I believe that Derek Lewis or Tai, maybe even Rosenstruck. I know he's going down the ranks, but I think the first one back, I think it'll happen. Tom Aspinall will be the UFC heavyweight champion of the world come 1st of January 2024. And then women's strawweight, I can't see anyone other than Weili. I'm not even going to fucking entertain that. Weili all the way. Same as a flyweight. No one's going to stop Shevchenko. No one's stopping Shevchenko. I think the bantamweight as well. Like, I don't see anyone beating Amanda Nunes unless that she retires. And I think that Julia Pena will be there to pick that up. So the women's division's a little bit easier to pick, if you like, because I just can't see. I think that the break between Weili, Shevchenko, and Nunes against the rest is too high up, in my opinion. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Who's going to be champion? Different divisions. Let me know in the comments who you think will be champion come 1st of January 2024. What we'll do a year from now, I will make a review and a prediction for the following year as well. Some fights that you'd like to see in 2024. For me, I would love to see Conor McGregor versus Chandler. I think that's a great fight to make. I would also like to see Hamzat versus Colby. I would also like to see Hamzat and Till against Whitaker and Izzy on the Ultimate Fighter or something like that. I think that would be a lot of fun. Another fight I'd like to see, Sean O'Malley, Sterling. Obviously, we're going to see Alex Volkanovski versus Islam. I can't get my head around how John Jones is still ranked 13th in pound for pound when he's not fought for how long. John Jones's last fight was 2020, 2 years. No, coming up to 3 years in February. And that was a fucking... I think Reyes had an argument to say he won that. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think? Who do you think would... what fights would you like to see? Who do you think will be champion come 2024? Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment.